There is a kind of power that makes no noise, no movement, no demand for attention, yet it changes everything around it. It's the calm that can hold steady even when life feels chaotic, the silence that speaks louder than words, and the stillness that cannot be provoked by anger or fear. Most people mistake calmness for weakness, believing that only loud reactions and strong emotions prove control. But the truth is the opposite. Calmness is the highest form of strength, because it requires mastery over the self. Anyone can react, very few can remain centered. When anger rises, it feels powerful in the moment. It gives a surge of energy, an illusion of control. But anger burns quickly, leaving exhaustion and regret in its ashes. Calmness, however, sustains energy. It channels focus instead of scattering it. Anger may destroy an obstacle, but calmness understands it. And understanding is always stronger than destruction. To be calm is not to suppress emotion, it's to direct it. It's learning to recognize what deserves your energy and what does not. Calmness allows you to see the bigger picture when everyone else is blinded by reaction. True calmness doesn't mean the absence of emotion. It means emotional intelligence. It's about allowing feelings to exist without being ruled by them. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm, wind, noise, chaos. The calm person is not the one who ignores the storm, but the one who can see through it, breathe within it, and act with clarity despite it. That is the calm that holds more power than anger ever could. Because while anger drains life, calm restores it. When you are calm, you become aware of your choices, your tone, your timing. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. Calmness is built through awareness. You begin to notice the moments when your mind tries to pull you into reaction. A comment that triggers you, a delay that frustrates you, a person who tries to provoke you. Every situation becomes a test of your discipline. You learn that the person who controls your emotions controls your energy. And if you allow anyone to disturb your peace easily, you give away your power without realizing it. Every time you pause instead of reacting, you take back that power. You remind yourself that peace is not something others give you. It's something you maintain within yourself. The calm person is not indifferent. They feel everything, but they choose what to express and when. They are not numb. They are aware. They have learned that reacting quickly often makes the situation worse, while patience reveals the truth. Calmness gives you the ability to observe patterns, to see what others cannot, to listen beyond words. It allows you to lead without force, to influence without domination, to create harmony instead of conflict. People trust those who remain composed under pressure, because calmness signals control, and control builds respect. There will always be situations that test your peace, arguments, injustice, disrespect, misunderstanding. The instinctive reaction is to defend, to prove, to strike back. But when you respond in anger, you enter the same vibration as the problem. You feed it, and it grows. Calmness, on the other hand, disconnects the fuel. It diffuses the fire before it spreads. It doesn't mean you accept everything quietly, but you choose the time and method of your response. You move from impulse to awareness, from chaos to clarity. This shift in energy transforms outcomes. Think about the most powerful leaders, thinkers, or martial artists throughout history. Their strength did not come from shouting, from rage, or from force. It came from inner control. Calmness is like still water. It reflects clearly, it absorbs shocks, and it nourishes everything around it. When the mind becomes still, the path forward becomes visible. When the emotions settle, your intuition rises. That is why calm people often make the best decisions, because they are not reacting from confusion but responding from understanding. Anger makes you fast, but calm makes you precise. Anger can motivate for a short time, But calm creates consistency. You cannot sustain power if it depends on chaos. The strongest minds in the world are not the loudest, but the most centered, because they understand one truth. Emotion is energy, and uncontrolled energy is wasted strength. When you master calm, you master energy. You no longer leak it through unnecessary conflicts, defensive words, or inner noise. You conserve it, and with conservation comes clarity, direction, and stability. Many people think staying calm means being passive, but calmness doesn't mean you don't act. It means you act from stability, not from storm. It means you think clearly when others panic, you make decisions when others hesitate, and you remain grounded when others lose balance. Calm people see through illusion because they are not blinded by noise. They notice what is real, what matters, and what doesn't deserve their attention. That ability is rare and powerful because clarity is the most valuable weapon in a chaotic world. Calmness also protects your health. Anger and stress tighten your body, disrupt your breathing, and cloud your mind. Calmness softens you without weakening you. It allows your body to function as it should. It lowers unnecessary tension and replaces it with alert relaxation. In this state, you are sharper, more aware, and more creative. Calmness is not slow, it's efficient. It removes distraction and channels focus toward what truly matters. When you begin practicing calmness, it will feel unnatural at first. Your mind will want to argue, prove, defend, or win. But every time you choose to breathe instead of react, you train your power. You begin to feel less controlled by external chaos. The world does not change immediately, but you do. The same situations that once shook you now pass without impact. People notice it too. They can't provoke what no longer reacts. That's when your calmness becomes visible, not as weakness, but as quiet confidence. You will learn that you can listen to anger without becoming angry. You can see chaos without losing balance. You can observe problems without feeling defeated. This is where true freedom begins. When external situations lose the power to disturb your internal state. It doesn't happen overnight, but through practice. Every time you pause, you grow stronger. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you expand your awareness, and one day you'll realize that calmness has become your natural state, not because life became easier, but because you became unshakable. The world will always test you. It will challenge your patience, question your values, and push your limits. But the person who remains calm walks through storms with clarity. They are not immune to chaos. They simply refuse to carry it. They don't lose time trying to control what they can't. They focus on mastering what's within, and that mastery, that quiet presence, makes them powerful beyond measure. Calmness doesn't need recognition. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't demand to be understood. It simply exists as a force of stability in a world addicted to reaction. When you embody that stillness, you start influencing others without effort. People feel safer around you, more open, more focused. Your calm energy becomes contagious. It starts healing the spaces you enter. This is the subtle strength of calmness. It doesn't dominate. It transforms. The next time someone tries to provoke you or life throws you into a storm, remember this: your peace is your weapon. Not every situation needs your voice, and not every attack needs your attention. When you stay calm, you disarm the situation. You hold your energy like a shield, protecting your clarity. You realize that not reacting doesn't mean you don't care. It means you value your inner world more than someone else's care. There will be moments when silence will be your strongest answer, when patience will feel like the hardest act, and when walking away will take more courage than fighting back. But those moments define your growth. They show that you have learned to rule your energy instead of being ruled by it. That is real strength. The strength that doesn't shout, doesn't threaten, doesn't prove. It simply stands steady and grounded. The calm that holds more power than anger ever could is not born from weakness. It is forged through discipline. It is built every time you choose awareness over reaction. every time you observe before responding, and every time you guard your peace, like something sacred. When you master calmness, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, there is no force left that can truly disturb your inner balance. That is the quiet power that changes everything, the kind of strength that no anger could ever match. True power doesn't come from reaction but from restraint. The moment you choose calmness over chaos, you stop being controlled and start controlling your own destiny. The quiet strength that comes from composure is not a weakness or lack of emotion. It is the sign of someone who understands life at a deeper level. When you stop reacting to every disturbance, every insult, every situation that tries to provoke you, you reclaim your energy. Most people believe power is loud. It shouts, it strikes, it defends itself. But real power moves in silence. It's the person who doesn't need to prove anything that holds the true authority. When you remain calm in the face of chaos, you become unpredictable to the world, and nothing can manipulate or shake your inner foundation. Restraint doesn't mean suppression. It means mastery. It means you feel the storm, but you choose not to let it destroy you. You notice your emotions rising, yet you understand they don't define you. You observe your thoughts instead of being consumed by them. The one who can pause before reacting is far more powerful than the one who always strikes first. Anyone can raise their voice, but not everyone can stay centered when their ego is under attack. This is the quiet advantage of calmness. It transforms situations instead of being transformed by them. When you learn to hold your composure, you stop wasting energy on defending, explaining, or proving. You stop fighting unnecessary battles because your focus shifts from what people think to what truly matters. People who can't control their reactions are constantly exhausted. They let every small thing drain them. But those who cultivate calmness build a wall of stillness around their mind that noise cannot penetrate. They walk into a room and bring peace instead of tension. They speak less but say more. Their energy becomes magnetic because it's not scattered, it's aligned. There will always be people who try to disturb your peace. Some will test you just to see how much control you really have. But when you respond with silence or a calm answer, you take away their power. You disarm negativity not by fighting it but by refusing to feed it. The moment you understand this, you begin to realize that calmness is not passive. It's active discipline. It requires strength to not respond when provoked, to choose patience when frustrated, to stay kind when disrespected. Calmness is not about what happens around you. It's about what happens inside you. The world trains us to react quickly, to prove ourselves instantly, to fight back immediately. But real mastery comes from slowing down. The more you pause, the more perspective you gain. You begin to see the illusion behind most conflicts. They are not about truth, but about ego. When you stop feeding that illusion, peace becomes your natural state. You no longer need to win arguments, because you understand that peace of mind is the ultimate victory. You no longer crave validation because you recognize that true worth is not up for negotiation. Each time you choose calmness over anger, you shift your destiny slightly. You move closer to control over your mind and further from control by circumstance. Every reaction you withhold strengthens your inner core. It builds a reservoir of strength that will serve you when real challenges appear. Calmness teaches you that not everything deserves your attention, and not everyone deserves your energy. The more you protect your peace, the more power you carry without having to show it. There's a saying, tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. Calmness is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about trusting that you can handle whatever comes. When you believe in your ability to remain grounded, situations stop intimidating you. Anger blinds you, but calmness lets you see. When you see clearly, your decisions become sharper, your energy becomes cleaner, and your life becomes lighter. You can test this power in daily life. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause for just one breath before reacting. Feel the rise of emotion, but don't follow it. Notice how that single moment of stillness changes the entire outcome. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. You'll start realizing that calmness is not only power, it's freedom. You are no longer a slave to circumstances, to opinions or to emotions that come and go like the wind. The ones who remain calm in crisis are the ones others turn to for guidance. Because when others panic, they think clearly. When others lose control, they take action from awareness, not impulse. They are the anchors in the storm. And that's what real strength looks like. Not domination, but direction. Not reaction, but understanding. Calmness turns confusion into clarity and conflict into opportunity. Eventually you will see that the moments you wanted to react the most were the ones that shaped your growth. Every test of your patience refines you. Every situation that challenged your calm was actually building. The universe doesn't send peace. It sends chaos to teach you how to create peace within it. That is where real transformation begins, not in perfect conditions, but in your ability to stay centered when the world spins wildly around you. So when you feel anger rising, remember this: reacting will always cost you energy, but staying calm will always return it. The more you choose calmness, the less control anything external will have over you. You become the eye of the storm, the still point in a world of noise. True power is not loud, not aggressive, not boastful. True power is quiet, unshakable, and deeply present. It doesn't seek to dominate. It simply endures, guides, and transforms everything it touches. That is the kind of power that lasts. That is the kind of strength that defines peace, not as escape, but as mastery. The person who can stay centered when everything around them is falling apart has already won a battle most people never even see. Because while the world measures strength by how much noise you make, true mastery lies in how much calm you can keep. Most people panic when things collapse. They rush to fix, to explain, to escape. But those who have cultivated inner stillness understand something deeper, that storms don't break you, they reveal what's already built inside you. The one who stands firm in the middle of chaos has discovered a power untouched by circumstance. This kind of strength doesn't shout, it whispers. It's not visible, but it is deeply felt. It's a quiet force that holds everything together when the surface of life shakes uncontrollably. Staying centered doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It doesn't mean you are indifferent to loss, betrayal, or uncertainty. It means that even as you feel these things, you don't let them take over your entire being. You observe the storm, but you no longer become the storm. You can acknowledge that life hurts, that things fall apart, but still remain grounded in something deeper than emotion. It's not denial, it's awareness. Awareness that everything passes, that every wound carries a lesson, and that your reaction defines your reality more than the situation itself ever could. Those who lack inner balance are like leaves blown by every gust of wind. One insult can ruin their day. One failure can destroy their confidence. One rejection can make them forget their worth. But the person who has trained their mind to remain calm in turbulence has discovered a different kind of freedom. The freedom from being controlled by life's unpredictability. They realize that everything external is temporary. The praise, the criticism, the success, the loss. None of it defines who they are unless they choose to give it power. It takes immense strength to remain silent when provoked, to breathe when you want to shout, to trust when everything feels uncertain. But that's what staying centered really is, an act of trust in yourself. It's knowing that even when the world outside is unstable, you are not. You have built an anchor inside your own mind. The waves will come, but they cannot drown you. The more you practice stillness, the less the noise of life can reach you. You begin to see clearly while others are blinded by panic. You begin to act wisely while others react impulsively. You start moving with intention, not emotion. There will always be chaos in life. People will disappoint you, situations will collapse, plans will fail. But calmness allows you to meet those moments with strength instead of weakness. It allows you to respond instead of react. When you can stay composed while others lose themselves in emotion, you become a force that stabilizes everything around you. That's why people who carry calm energy often become natural leaders. They don't need to control anyone. Their presence itself is enough to bring order. Their stillness radiates stability, and that stability becomes contagious. Remaining centered also protects your energy. Anger, frustration, and fear are expensive. They drain you quickly. Every unnecessary argument, every reaction born from ego, steals a piece of your strength. When you stay centered, you stop paying those prices. You save your energy for growth, for creativity, for peace. Calmness becomes your greatest investment because it allows you to handle more without being overwhelmed. It's not about avoiding challenges, but about facing them with composure. To master calmness is to master awareness. You begin to see the patterns behind human behavior, including your own. You notice that most people are not fighting you, they are fighting themselves. They project their chaos outward because they cannot contain it inward. Once you see this clearly, compassion replaces irritation. You stop taking things personally because you understand that people can only act from their level of peace or pain. This perspective alone can transform how you move through the world. Instead of reacting to negativity, you begin to observe it, understand it, and let it pass. Every time you stay centered during conflict, you strengthen your inner foundation. Every time you choose patience over impulse, you become unshakable. Calmness doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care wisely. It means you know where to place your energy and where to let go. This kind of wisdom only comes from experience, from moments where you could have lost control, but chose not to. Each time you choose peace, your calm becomes deeper, your control sharper, your perception clearer. Life will always test your balance. The stronger your foundation, the stronger the test. But understand this, tests do not come to destroy you. They come to reveal you. The world may throw storms your way, but storms don't last forever. Your calm can, and the more you hold your center, the more influence you quietly gain. You begin to lead not through force but through example. People start to sense that your peace is not naive. It's earned. It's the peace of someone who has seen darkness, but refused to let it define them. The beauty of calmness is that it doesn't depend on ideal conditions. You can cultivate it in the middle of chaos, in the middle of pain, in the middle of uncertainty. You can practice it when everything goes wrong. Because calmness is not built in peace. It is built in difficulty. It's when life tests you the most that you have the chance to deepen your stability. The more you face, the calmer you can become if you choose awareness over reaction. In the end, the person who can stay centered when everything is collapsing is not lucky. They are trained. They have practiced observing instead of reacting, breathing instead of panicking, and trusting instead of fearing. They've learned that life will never stop throwing challenges, but the way you meet them determines the outcome. Remaining calm doesn't mean you control everything. It means you no longer need to. You have faith in your ability to adapt, to think clearly, to act with strength instead of emotion. And that kind of strength, quiet, steady, unmovable, is what defines real power. When you find this state of calmness, protect it. Don't trade it for validation, ego, or momentary satisfaction. Let it guide you through the storms, because storms will come, and when they do, the one who remains still will see clearly while everyone else is blinded by chaos. That is how you win invisible battles, the kind that most people never even recognize they're fighting. That is how you live in control of your inner world, while everything outside shifts and changes. Calmness in its quietness becomes your shield, your wisdom, and your true definition of strength.